Dear Keir Starmer, today is Human Rights Day and we need to talk about something you said.
As a lawyer, you are taking cases within your field of specialism, whether you agree, and whether you agree with the client or not is, of course I don't agree with these people, but that doesn't adjust the principle that in our legal system we have representation of both sides. And if you took that away, if you conducted this interview with a Crown Court judge and suggested that certain people should not have legal representation, they would say you're out of your mind, you're going to ruin the criminal justice system and you're going to make the backlog 10 times longer than it is.
Pause right there, Keir. You're describing the exact principle that adoption violates. Because the truth is this: adopted people are not represented. We are not a party to the order. We cannot get legal advice. We cannot appeal. We cannot revoke the order as adults. We cannot access the Court of Appeal. So when you say no judge would accept one side having no representation, that is the adoption system. That is what happened to us. Let's continue.
Al-Qaeda spokesman in the UK, wanted in the US for helping to plot with bin Laden. You tried to stop him being extradited.
You're giving different examples. The principle is exactly the same.
No regrets.
Lawyer gives legal advice.
Heads hit the pillow one night. You've never thought, oh, I wish I hadn't done that one.
Well, look, lawyers represent clients. Doctors treat patients. The fact a doctor treats a patient doesn't mean the doctor agrees with what the patient's beliefs are.
Keir, you keep talking about principles here, but adoption has none of them. The principles you defend for criminals, for extremists, for anyone needing representation, they're fundamentally missing from adoption. Adoptees get no representation, no rights, no appeal, no voice, no standing. The principles you're proud of simply don't apply to us. Let's move on.
Squeamish about it.
I think you should test them, Harry, and say...
These are their suggestions.
No, you should test people and say, do you really want a legal system where some people are simply unrepresented? Do you actually think it would help our legal system?
Are you asked if anyone would accept a legal system where people aren't represented? Keir, that's adoption. The one system where the person most affected, the adoptee, has no representation, no legal advice, no right to be heard, and no right to appeal.
Also prosecuted, in the end, hundreds of thousands of criminals, many of whom are still in jail for some of the biggest terrorist plots. We had one plot where it was a plot to bring down 7 aeroplanes across the Atlantic at the same time. And working with my prosecutors and the police, we managed successfully to prosecute that case. They got 40 years and they're still serving their terms. So, it is very important that people see both sides of this.
Keir, even the criminals you talk about eventually finish their sentences. Adoption orders don't. An adoptee's court order doesn't end. Not at 40 years, not at 80, not even in death.
Public prosecutions. Does that still stand?
Yes, of course.
Every single decision?
Yes.
Including the decision, didn't cross your desk, you say, but the CPS's failure to prosecute Jimmy Savile. Do you accept responsibility for that as the guy in charge?
The first I knew about this was after he died. I asked for a review into whether his case had ever come onto the desk of any of my prosecutors anywhere in the country. As a result of my review, it transpired that in Surrey and Sussex, somebody had come forward to make an allegation, but the local prosecutors in Surrey and Sussex had taken the decision, along with the police, not to prosecute. I looked into that after the event. I didn't see these cases. They didn't come to my desk.
But you said you take full responsibility for every decision, so the buck stops with you.
That's why, having reviewed the cases, I asked my principal legal advisor to review the cases. I issued, on behalf of the service, an apology because the service had not connected the two cases together.
Keir, you ordered an investigation into Jimmy Savile after he died because the system failed to protect people. You recognise that the truth still matters, even decades later. You demanded accountability, transparency, and an apology. We are asking you to apply that same principle to adoption. As Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and as a human rights lawyer, we call on you to open a full investigation into human rights breaches within UK adoption, to acknowledge the harm, to apologise, and to create a legal remedy for adoptees and their families. Adoptee Rights UK Scottish Adult Adoptee Movement.